We sent 6 chefs to remote locations across the globe with a simple goal: connect, communicate and cook with local people who are benefiting from Australian agricultural research and collaborative projects. A shared passion for food and the fundamental importance that food security brings underpins these stories.
And so there we have it, our special occasion smoked beef with very spicy chilli sauce.
Cheers.
Yeah, that's nice.
This is The Good Cooks. Tanzania, a place of myth and legend, from Kilimanjaro to Zanzibar. But what is life like for its rural farming communities? Australian television chef Mark Olive is about to find out.
Hi, I'm Mark Olive. I've come a long way from Wollongong, Australia to Tanzania.
How's your journey?
Good.
Welcome to Tanzania.
Oh, thank you. We're currently on a 12-hour journey to Sanza village. Join me and learn and discover how food security for these people is being improved through the Australian and the Tanzanian government.
Sanza village is remote. After a bone-jarring 12-hour drive towards the capital Dodoma, and then a further few hours into the heart of the African continent's famed Rift Valley.
This is Sanza.
Oh, welcome.
How are you?
Oh, good.
How are you?
I'm fine.
It's been a long trip, hasn't
Yeah, it's very long. Finally, you're here.
Mark is told how the Australian government's Agricultural Research for Development Agency, ACIAR, is supporting Wende and her team to produce, distribute and administer a vaccine which is able to fight a disease which afflicts village chickens.
it? Well, look, we're in Sanza, and I think we're going to have a good time. And look, the light's gone at the moment, but look, we're going to catch up in the morning.
This is your very best adventure you've ever had, I assure you.
I can't wait.
As the sun rises over the spectacular setting of Sanza village, Wende explains to Mark how this community has serious food security issues, especially in the dry season.
The chicken is a thing which most of the poor communities, they have. But the main problem was having this Newcastle disease. And when it enters the house, they kill almost all the chicken. So what we did as a government, they produced this vaccine, and we are very grateful that we get the seed from Australia. With this vaccine, it controls the disease. And if we do it in a cycles, it means you are able to wipe up the...
Right.
Yeah, and in this village, we managed to do that. Yep. So there's no reporting on Newcastle disease again. Mm-hmm. And the people are happy because they have a big flocks now.
Let's get over there and start vaccinating. So here's all the action. This is where it all happens. Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, how are you? Jambo.
Wow.
Between 1983 and 1992, ACIAR invested $3 million in research to find a vaccine that could provide protection from Newcastle disease in village chickens.
Okay.
Oh, there it is.
The result was a vaccine that, critically, did not require constant refrigeration.
So that's it?
Yeah.
So we hand it back and give it a bit of a rub. And this vaccination was discovered in the 80s with the help from ACIAR, which, puts into these programs. Mm-hmm. Have you seen a real change in life?
Yeah, we are very grateful for the support from Australia, and they've been doing this for years, We have a very high rate of stunting, and the stunting is due to inefficient nutrients in the diet. So we think that by motivating people to keep more chicken, have more eggs, this will help them feed their children and they can grow well.
These guys here are doing a great job as well. Asante. I'm learning.
Yeah.
Chickens often provide the only source of protein to villagers living in these remote areas, and Newcastle disease frequently devastates unvaccinated flocks.
You get a real sense here that, you know, the community is really proud of what they're doing here. And with the help from the vaccinators, they're really starting to build a little economy here, which is fantastic. And I think, you know, that's the best thing. And it's really, really important that they get that protein, they get that, that meat and iron source. And what a great program that's being done here to fight a Newcastle disease to save these chickens. But on that note, we've got to cook for the community. So let's go. Here we are, we're in Sanza village, and it's exciting actually because I'm going to learn how to make chai masala from Wendy, my guide and translator. So Wendy, this looks really interesting. What have we got in front of us?
Making chai masala, you need a water, a black pepper, and you need cloves, yeah, and then you need cardamom, yeah, and ginger.
Ginger.
And this is sugar, so you have to put it in sugar.
So it gives it that little bit of sweetness.
Yeah, sweeten.
So we peel this up?
Yeah, just peel a little bit of it. Yeah, break it up and then put it. This is
it's like a mortar and pestle. So we put our ginger in.
Yeah, you put a black pepper inside there, and then you put your cloves.
Cloves, lovely. That's got that lovely scent to it too. The clove has.
And then you put cardamom. Yeah, so you grind it. Okay, while you are grinding, you have to put water in a bucket.
All of it? You can smell the flavours coming out of this.
Yeah, it smells very good. And then you wait for it to boil.
Okay. Look, Wendy, Sanza, it's a really big village.
Before we came here, they had a program where the government used to supply food in this area. The government has never supplied food while we are here. So we think that big impact to them, but we need to quantify it.
Yeah.
You know.
All scientists are scientists, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, it is almost ready. This is a Tanzanian tea. Just put a little bit on your hand. We don't do the measurements here. We just estimate everything. You can use that one. Yeah. Yeah, you are lucky you come to this time when everything is green. It's very hot during the dry season.
Yeah, the whole environment must just change, you know, completely once everything dries out. So, our tea's starting to smell really nice here.
It is ready, I think. Maybe you can use it.
It's all good. It's all good.
You put with everything inside. Yeah.
So we just let that stew now, don't we? Wendy, tell us a little bit about yourself, and we know you work for the Tanzanian government. It's an amazing journey for a woman to be in your position.
I've been working with the government for a very long time.
Cheers.
Cheers, yeah, that's nice. So I work as an animal livestock research officer. I'm working with Tanzania Veterinary Laboratory Agency. It's where we produce the vaccine, and I'm working as an animal nutritionist. So I have two jobs, and I've been working with the community. That's why I'm very fond of the communities.
Yeah.
I find myself I'm too ambitious with my job also. I think I'll continue working with the community even if I'm retired. Yeah,
and it's important to have mentors in communities for the next generation to come through and see these role models.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. Yeah, this is very important. Yeah.
What a force for good Wenda is. Coming up, Mark uses nature's multivitamin, the humble egg, in a chapati recipe. And then the village chicken is added to a pot of goodness prepared under the spread of an enormous boab tree. This is The Good Cooks. Australian chef Mark Olive has travelled into Tanzania's Rift Valley to the remote village of Sanza. Mark has a passion for native ingredients, and with the help of Rafa, a local village cook, Mark will learn how an African cowpea and chapati recipe can improve its nutritional value through the incorporation of eggs from the village chickens.
Hello, Rafa. How are you?
I'm fine.
You're going to show me how to make some chapati. Chapati?
Unachota unga.
Okay, so about half.
Weka hapa. Chota tena. Unachosha.
And number 2,
Tunachukua chumvi.
salt. So,
Kidogo. Ongeza. Nachukua maji.
hot water.
Maji. Kanda.
And knead it.
Changa.
So it's you've got to really give it a bit of a good press and knead.
Chukua mafuta uweke.
Oh, a bit of oil. Okay. So what we're doing is we're kneading this together now, the chapata. So it's almost like we make a damper at home in Australia. It's like kneading a damper together. But it's interesting because it's got a little bit of the sunflower oil in this. How's that, Rafa? Ready. Oh, we're ready. Okay. So back onto here, kneading a bit more. No, just a big one. We're making a big one. Okay. Nice and hot. So, ready?
Yeah. Sawa.
Good. Just let that cook and it will bubble up a bit.
Weka mafuta. Niwaambie.
We're going to burn it.
Weka mafuta.
I'm giving it that nice colour as well, nice gloss to it. It's ready.
Ndio.
Done. Ouch. That's hot. Okay, so look, that's one. Rafa, I've just been informed, tells me she usually cooks about 3 or 4 in a pile.
Sukuma uweke juu. Enda haraka. Haiweka.
And then the top.
Yeah.
I've been told to get another one faster. But that's what I'm here for. Turn.
Bado.
So now we're going into the next step, which, Rafa, is the egg. Okay, so we need 2 eggs. You can tell these eggs are beautiful. They're really yellow in here.
Kidogo. Abakisha.
Wrong.
Mama nikuonyesha. Nenda utwange kunde.
So it's all happening here, it's going on. At the back here, we've got one of our villagers here. So what she's doing is mashing that cowpea, actually, which is really interesting.
Oh, umeharibu hii. Acha nitengeneze mwenyewe.
All right. I've turned the kitchen into a nightmare here, but... What's next, Rafa? I've really made a mess of this. So, egg, all right. Okay, so now she's put the chapati, she's put part of the egg on the top, okay. A little bit more sunflower oil on the outside. Now she flips it all over. Doesn't that look amazing? Oh.
Hii tayari kwa kuliwa.
Okay.
Au ukanywa na maziwa.
You know, what I've been told is this is how it's done, and compared to what I've got here, you can tell the difference. We've got a disaster. And we've got the real thing. But here is, well, it's the cowpea. It's had things done to it. When you look at a cowpea, it's almost like it's a water chestnut or even like a bulrush. But what they've added in this is a bit of onion, a bit of ginger, a little bit of salt and pepper as well. We've heated up some sunflower oil here, and now Mama Monica is just cooking these off to go with our good omelette. We'll have good chapati. These women are revered at what they do.
Shakila, njoo. Kishke njoo. Njoo usimame hapo mfupi.
And I'm sure these kids are hanging around for the food as well. They're getting really crusty on the outside, so they're going to be really tasty, I think. So again, we just strip all of that oil off. Yum, yum. Here we have it, the local dish from Sansa, which is this chapati with this egg from the chickens from here and the bagati, which is that cowpea. And this is just smelling really nice, and I can't wait to taste it.
Once a month, Sanza becomes a market town, and on the outskirts of the village, stalls are set up to sell and swap clothing, produce and livestock. The markets are alive with activity.
There's so much here, isn't it? Just the colour.
Mark and Wenda are gathering ingredients to be used in a traditional chicken meal. This is The Good Cooks. Welcome back to The Good Cooks. Australian Indigenous chef Mark Olive is on his first trip to Africa, where he's been experiencing the culinary and cultural delights of Sanza village. Mark has been gaining insights into how healthy chickens and plentiful supplies of eggs are crucial to overcome the nutritional deficiencies of diets faced by these communities, especially in the dry season. Mark's final recipe is in a spectacular outdoor kitchen.
Ladies, here we are. We're in this amazing location. We've got this beautiful baobab tree, which is so old, and we've got this amazing dish that we're going to be doing, which is a chicken dish. So let's get into it. We've got everything here that we need for our chicken dish. Mama, what is here?
Hapa kuna viazi kwa ajili ya kuku. Kwa ajili ya supu. Kama ni supu unaweka viazi, unaweka karoti, unaweka na hoho.
Capsicum.
Ukianza kula utatumia na ndimu, unaweka kidogo.
A bit of lime, and we've got a bit of tomato there as well, and also some garlic, just to give it that little bit of flavour. And what's this?
Na hii ni karanga kwa ajili ya mlenda.
Oh, traditional. We have in Australia a traditional Aboriginal green as well. It's called a warrigal green. Reminds me a little bit like that, and got this amazing smell to it. But we've also got, look, our sub-ingredient here, which is the chicken that we prepared earlier on. This was my job as a young kid when I was growing up, to pluck the chickens, but it's totally different out here. It's a way of life. And every part of this chicken's being used too. So how do we start off here?
Paka tukate nyama kwanza. Tunabandika nyama, ndo tunaanza kuweka.
Do you want...
Hiki kisu kikali kweli, yani hiki kisu.
The knife is very good.
What we're doing here, we're just, cutting this chicken down a bit. Going to be flavoursome once it starts cooking up, isn't it? This is like cooking in the outback of Australia. When I go and work with communities out there, we're able to sometimes cook up a goanna and a bit of snake, and same sort of preparation. Have you had snake?
No.
Oh, you don't get food. Mama, Angelina, what do we do next?
Tunataka niweke tangawizi kwa ajili ya kulainisha nyama.
Okay, so what we've got here, the chicken's cooking up. We've got the ginger juice that's just been put in now, which has been crushed. You can hear that sizzle, you can smell that ginger coming through, which is really nice. Now that's boiled down, the chicken is nice and tender, so what we're doing now is then adding our vegetables.
Naanza kuweka viungo vyetu kwenye.
So we let that boil down for a couple of minutes. So the additives to it we're going to be putting are the veggies here. This is really interesting.
Hii ni kipali, hata kama na karanga.
Oh, it's cooked with milk. Okay. So really, what's happening here? We've dried it out. We've flattened it out onto a plate, and they've left it out on a stone, let it dry for a couple of days, and this is the product. This is really, really impressive. It's really healthy, and it's an important part of the diet. So what we've got here, we've got the milk that's going into the pot first, and this vegetable, which is really highly regarded, and then we break this.
Tunasubiri maziwa mpaka yachemke, yaanze kuchemka.
So we start breaking it down. Yeah. I'd like you to ask Mama, what does she think of a man helping in the kitchen?
Kusaidia hawazuliki chochote, ila tu hawapendi. Nasikia furaha sana. Nasikia furaha sana. Yani ni vizuri mno.
Well, look, you never know. The young ones of today might want to be chefs. Would they be in a position to be able to do that?
Ndo sasa hivi mashirika yamejikita, lipo shirika la World Division na shirika la INADES. Ndo sasa hivi wanapigania kuwaelimisha mwanaume bora. Yaani wa familia. Wanawapigania kuwaelimisha vijana kwamba msaidie mama kazi zote, hata kuosha mtoto, kuogesha mtoto, kulisha mtoto mdogo awe mkubwa, yaani wanawaelimisha, lakini hawagusi, hawataki, hawapendi. Na ni mila kuona mwanaume anafanya kazi, yaani yule anatumikishwa.
The young men, there are a lot of people who are coming in, just trying to explain them they have to help their mothers, their wives, but they are not doing that. They will say that you have been undermined. It's not a proper way.
Oh, I'm in a special position. Okay, so we've broken all of that up now and it's ready to go. So the next process is into the pot. You can really smell that. It's a really unique smell, really, really earthy. Yeah, it's going to rehydrate in the milk while it's boiling and give it that flavour. But we've prepped some before and we have it here, don't we?
Hapo ndo ile iliyopikwa.
Yeah. Here is the actual finished product. This has taken 6 hours. I tell you what, it smells amazing. It will be going into that soup. So the yogurt goes into this. So really we're just giving that little bit of creaminess and texture. Looks amazing, doesn't it? And once that sort of like rehydrates, it will really flavour it to make this beautiful, beautiful dish. Okay, so look, we're right near the end. The chicken's ready. This soup has been cooking now for a good 20, 30 minutes. The chicken's been cooked down, the veggies are al dente, so they're nice and crunchy. Ooh, so this is the soup, which just smells unbelievable. Here we are in Scanse, Tanzania. I've just spent an afternoon cooking an amazing meal. I can't wait to tuck into this, under this boab tree, in this amazing location. We're going to enjoy this and we'll see you soon.
Mark's trip to Scanse is coming to an end. And back in the village, preparations are well underway to prepare a farewell meal and a chance to say thank you for the hospitality.
So we are here just near the end of our project. Thank Mike for being here. But I would like to show you one of the girls, Sauda. Sauda, we've been following her since she was 2 years old. Now she's grown up. We have been teaching her mother how to feed properly. You can see she's in good health, good height. So she's doing fine.
Fantastic.
So we are very grateful that you come.
Thank you for hosting us over the last few days, and it's great to see these programs working here with the results that you're getting, which is fantastic. But on that note, I'd just like to thank a few people in the community here, especially our cooks, that have done a really hard job along the way, feeding us and looking after us. Rafa. Asante-san, Mama Angelina, thank you. Asante-san. And Veronica, thank you. Asante-san. I've been on this journey. It's been very emotional for me in a lot of ways. This is a very special present for you.
Oh, thank you.
This is a message stick from our Aboriginal communities in Australia to say thank you. And we give this and invite you to one day come to Australia and be a part of what we give. It's been a really eye-opener for me, and I hope our viewers back home in Australia understand what these programs are doing and the lives they are changing. We are a very privileged country. Coming here has just brought that together for me. Hopefully our people back home will understand that we're all in this together, and we hope we can support each other. So on that note, asante-san and thank you. It's been fantastic.